Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we will be discussing certain important interview questions, right? So I have been myself under an interview process, right? So I've gone through an interview process. So I have some of the ideas, and also through different websites and after brainstorming and after literature review, I've prepared some of the common questions that are very frequently asked and actually कुछ पूछते हैं वही सिमिलर पूछते हैं मतलब मैं अभी रियलाइज कर रहा हूँ that how important it was to just go through the videos. So yeah, there are certain 50 most important interview Q&As that you must be prepared, irrespective if it's your domain specific job or it's a consultancy firm, it's a R&D, whatever it is. Certain questions remain stagnant. The interviewer just wants to see whether you are spontaneous enough, whether you are having a good decision making skills and all. So definitely there will be some questions that will be repeated in every aspect of an interview. So yeah, firstly, two things that you need to do when you're going for an interview. Don't be nervous or get paranoid. बिल्कुल भी आपके फेस से वो नहीं दिखना चाहिए that you are tensed, you are paranoid, or your hand movements. If it's an offline interview, definitely leg and hand movements बहुत avoid करना. Gestures should be very decent enough. And confidence. Wear a lot of confidence on your face. मतलब इतने उससे जाओ कि वो जॉब तुम्हारी है, तुम्हें पता है, तुम लेके जाओगे, कि वो इंटरव्यू को आपको लेना ही पड़े. So these are some of the things from my side. Definitely questions are of 4 categories. General questions जो कोई भी पूछता है, like introduce yourself, what do you expect from the company, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years. ये कुछ questions जो general है. Role specific, if you want to go for a pharmacognosy domain, medicinal chemistry, pharmacology, pharmaceutics, so QA, QC, R&D, F&D, right? There are different job roles: data analyst, trainee analyst, business intelligence, market forecasting, competitive intelligence, whichever role you are interested. Then behavioral, they want to check how will you react. They will put you in a situation, they might give you certain guesstimates, certain case studies, and want to see your approach. Your answer doesn't matter, the approach. Like suppose if they tell you to estimate the number of cases of Alzheimer patients, you must know that you must ask certain clarifying questions. They have asked you that you should estimate the number of Alzheimer patients. Where? Globally or in India? That's a clarifying or a preliminary question that you must ask. Followed by certain end-to-end splits like gender-wise split, area-wise split, age group-wise split like pediatrics, geriatrics, and adults. Right? So they want to see if it's anything related to the branding. So e-commerce, quick commerce, online, offline stores. Right? If it's anything related to food, so weekdays or on weekends. Right? Is there any occasion? Is there any market competitor that has come up? Or if it's a supply chain break, any blockchain technology or anything, right? Or any quality, or there's a change in the plant of the company. There are different splits that you can just ask, go through while you, and genuinely try to solve guesstimates and case study as much as possible, because the more you solve, the more you get intrigued into these particular case studies and guesstimates, the more you will be able to think. आपकी सोचने की क्षमता, your caliber and your potential will definitely be increased. And finally, pharmaceutical laws, industries are definitely, you must know certain basic pharmaceutical regulatory bodies, certain new laws, and like if any trends, pharmaceutical trends काफी जरूरी है, like the one that are going right now, bioprint, 3D bioprinting, personalized medicine, pharmacogenomics, right? There are so many different trends, CAR T cell therapy and all. You must be acquainted with at least the basics of all these trends so that it helps you ahead. Next, what are your strengths and weaknesses? ये तो एक question होता है काफी बार, that what are your key strengths, key skills. Now if you tell problem solving, time management, critical thinking, or leadership qualities, or inclusivity, so how is this like key strength, how is that your key strength? What problem have you solved? How can you say you have problem solving? What critical thinking have you done that you are saying that you have critical thinking skills? What time you have managed, क्या आप बोल रहे हो, time management skills, right? What are you most proud of? So they want to see that how deep and sharp is your memory, and what are the your way of thinking. What's your greatest disappointment? Definitely इसे भी affirmatively आपको जवाब देना है, like anything you whichever जो भी आपकी disappointment, उसके बाद just add a statement, but I'm trying to work upon it, but I'll try, that won't happen again, I'll try, something like that, जिससे उन्हें पता चले that you are ready for acceptance, you are ready for changes, you are ready to learn. They want to see your proactiveness, they want to see your willingness to learn, आप कितने उत्तेजित हो पढ़ने के लिए and सीखने के लिए. tell me about a mistake you made, आपने कोई गलती करी and आपने कैसे उसे handle करा, because they want to see that if you are put in a tight situation, how do you handle that situation, right? So that is very important. Next up, these are the list of questions. You can take a screenshot and then just have a look at it. So one of the most commonly asked question, describe the process of drug discovery, drug development, if you are interested in R&D, because drug discovery and development तो आना ही चाहिए. What are the different design of experiment approach for this research and development that you must know? And if it's like R&D related to pharmacology or something like that, they might ask you GLP, or if it's a toxicology role, they might ask you upon OECD guidelines. So you can have a look at 420, 423, 425 guidelines and all. Stay updated on the advancements in pharmaceutical research. काफी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है कि आप advancements पे पढ़ते रहो, क्या चल रहा है market में. You know, just have a look. Chat GPT कर लो, Gemini कर लो, क्या जाता है. But make sure that you have an idea about the same. Clinical trials, what are the phases of clinical trials, what are the different clinical trial design, if anybody is interested in getting into PV, pharmacovigilance and all, what are the ADR monitoring system, and how is data integrity, what is inclusion exclusion criteria, what is investigator brochure, what is informed consent, ये सारी चीजें आपको पता होनी चाहिए. What are the good clinical practices, QCM guidelines of ICH. If you want to get into regulatory bodies, of course, that if suppose I'm manufacturing a drug in Europe, if I want to market it in US, of course, the guidelines are different. Regulatory, European Medicines Agency, and over here you have US FDA. They have different regulatory bodies, so different strength and guidelines and different acceptance criteria and rejection criteria, right? So definitely, then you have complex generics, generic products have different bioequivalence data that you need to be reproduce, and IVC guidelines, and also you must be aware about some of them. CMC, critical chemistry manufacturing controls, you must know about that as well. Safety pharmacological data, toxicological data, what is NDA, ANDA, how do you file NDA, ANDA, right? What is 505B1, 505B2, 505J, all these guidelines. Then you can just have any withdrawal if there is recent recalls or withdrawals that company has, like, because many a times warnings are given by FDA and all, so you must know about that. Then QA/QC guidelines, absolutely you must know about the QA/QC quality guidelines, of course, and GMP, what are the different factors of GMP, like the workplaces, infrastructure, personnel, SOPs, what is BMR, batch manufacturing record, what is MFR, master formula record, right? What is DMF, drug master file and all. You must be acquainted with all of these. And then manufacturing and production, definitely when we speak about manufacturing and production, you need to know about the different batch failures. How do you deal with batch failures? What is optimization studies? What is different types of design of experiments, DOE, QBD, because quality by design nowadays is getting a lot of importance. And what is validation? What is calibration? What is qualification? So there's IQ, OQ, DQ, PQ, installation, operational design, performance qualification, and all that's going on. Then pharmacovigilance. Obviously, you need to know about the adverse drug reaction and adverse drug events ka beech ka difference. What is a data management cycle? What is a risk management cycle? If you're getting into medical writing, medical affairs or so, how do you collaborate between cross-functional teams? What is the expertise in the medical writing? Then you can explain your approach of call, which is key opinion leader engagement, right? All these things are very important. Marketing and sales, if you're interested in marketing and sales, of course, when a new product is launched, what are different promotion strategies, marketing strategies, what is life cycle management, what is product life cycle, all these things are very important. Then regulatory pharmacology, so different interpretation of clinical trials, what are different studies for pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic profiling. Pharmacy practice, of course, HEOR, health economics outcome research, is one of the blooming fields of the hospital pharmacy, clinical pharmacy, pharmacy practice and all. So how do you manage drug interactions? What is EHR, electronic health records and all? You need to be aware about the same. Next up, so you must know the what do you want to work for, why do you want to work for our organization? आपको उनके organization में काम क्यों करना है? ऐसा क्या है उनके organization में जो आपको वहाँ काम करना है? You must know about that. Then why are you attracted to the position? What do you like and what do you dislike about your last job? They want to see कि ये बंदा, मतलब आप उस कंपनी में भी जाओगे, आप कभी ना कभी वो कंपनी छोड़ोगे, right? You won't be loyal forever. So they want to see your likes and dislikes for the last job. How long do you expect to work if you are hired? Absolutely. They want to see your retention period. So you have to be very positive. You have to tell that you will be learning and you will be an asset to the company. How are you an asset to the company? What all inputs are you going to give? Right? How do you work in a team? Are you a team player? Are you having a leadership qualities? All these things you must know. Then always remember, before going for an interview, you must know how important data is. Up data can be obtained from primary data research or secondary data research, which is interview, questionnaire, surveys, articles, magazine, blogs, or short communications. Now that data should be authentic enough. The journal you're selecting, the impact factor, the year, the latest time from which the article is being procured, PubMed, different sources, Mendeley, Google Scholar, Shodh Ganga, SciUp. There are n number of sources. You can just list it out. And there's a connection between R&D companies, government, regulatory, marketing, workplaces. In सबका एक intercalation है, मतलब research and development is somehow also affected by government policies that are being implemented and different regulatory guidelines that are being placed, and the marketing of the drug is affected accordingly, and the workplaces in which you are working, like, or different marketing channels, intermediaries that are involved, like supply chain and all. So this is an intricate network. And data can be laboratory data, like any diagnostic data or test data or something like that, genomic data, electronic health records, EHR, prescription fill data, or it can be RWE, real world evidence and real world data. It can be medical claims, prescription records, I already mentioned, withdrawal of or regulatory, if there is any withdrawal or regulatory data obtained, right? So these are all different sources of data. Again, these are a few more questions, like in pharmacognosy, if you are entering, what are plant-based medication? Are there any stringent guidelines for Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani drugs? How do you assess the quality, safety, and standardization of herbal medicine? Very common question. If you're going into chemistry, definitely, how do you check, how do you increase the yield? What are the different parameters for synthesis, purification? And, these all are very important questions, like how do you analyze any pharmaceutical compound? Characterization, analyzation, like you must know analytical techniques, UV visible, IR, NMR, mass, and all. Regulatory affairs, absolutely, you must be aware about the regulatory affairs. I mentioned already those few points: risk assessment, compliance, how do you ensure compliance with regulatory requirements and all. Then clinical research, what is your expertise in clinical trials? You must know about the ethical guidelines, because ethics is very important part. Like there are different components of a clinical trial: principal investigator, sponsor, study director. So you must know about that. What are single blind, what is cohort, crossover, Latin square, parallel design, all those study design you must be aware of. Biotechnology, if you're getting into microbiology or biotechnology or biochemistry, allied fields, you must know about fermentation, rDNA, because nowadays monoclonal antibodies is also blooming field. So you must know about that as well. How do you scale up? How do you scaling up is very important process. You must know the different techniques of scaling up. Pharmacy practice, same thing. Latest drug approvals and guidelines, you must know. Medication regimes, because there are different complex regimes that are being prescribed or co-prescription, and that there could be possible fetal drug interactions of drug food, drug alcohol, drug herb, drug vitamins, drug. There are so many types of drug interactions that can occur. Medication safety, medication errors, what is hospital pharmacy, the types, like drug basket system, dispensing system, and centralized, decentralized, satellite pharmacy and all. Pharmacology, of course, you need to know quality, safety, efficacy. How do you estimate what are the rare diseases, what are orphan drugs, what are receptors, and how do you experimentally carry out certain procedures in vivo, in vitro, like different models. You can have an idea of the different models. Pharmaceutical MBA, to be honest, you can have an idea about the business principles, all those things that are currently going on, strategic planning, data analysis, financial performance, because there is a lot of financial reports, annual reports, balance sheets that you need to go through. There are so many different aspects of MBA that you must know, like regulatory laws, like there are so many other compliance issues as well. So corporate governance and all these are things that you must know while you are preparing for the same. Similarly, some more questions have similarly ethnobotany, you can have an idea, ethnopharmacology, network pharmacology, and all. Chemistry mein you can ask you about the synthesis of some new chemical entity. They want to see your approach, your what is computational chemistry, what is molecular modeling, protein modeling, analytical techniques like HPLC, NMR, and all. You must know about that. CTD, common technical document, you must be knowing about this. ECTD, MA, marketing authorization application, that is also very very important. Clinical research, what is unicentric trials, what is multicentric trials, and ICH, GCP, of course. Biotechnology with the similar. CRISPR-Cas, yes, clustered regulated interspace palindromic sequence repeats. You must know about CRISPR-Cas9 technique, because now it is also gaining zinc finger talent prescription, transcription and all. All these things are very frequently asked. You must know about them. These are the similar repeated questions. You can just take an assess of the same and look into it more in detail. Similarly, these are again some of the most repeated questions. How do you troubleshoot? ये भी एक काफी important question आता है कि आप troubleshoot कैसे करोगे कोई भी problem को? How will you uh, come over some other will overcome over some difficult problem that is put forth in before you, right? And they might describe a time when you've managed a difficult patient. If you have a previous past experiences, they might ask you your past experience ki company ka certain data or something like that. Then that is important. Then MTM, medication therapy management. If you are getting into pharmacy practice, this is important for you. Genetic engineering, what are the ethics in biotechnological research, because genetic engineering, genetic manipulation is very critical, right? Gene editing, it's not that easy. You are just you are playing with the genetic level, right? You are playing with the genomics level. And nowadays omics is gaining a lot of importance, proteomics, metabolomics, transcriptomics, genomics, microbiomics, right? So you must know pharmacology, of course. How will you find out a significant drug interaction? And pharmaceutics, say again, it's a similar question, FND, R&D, solid state pharmaceutics or novel drug delivery system may they could ask you, or they could just tell you there is a polymer interaction, or they could give you how will you estimate the this particular interaction or drug dissolution, or so you must know about then XRD and all techniques. So they might ask you on your project, yes, questions आपके project पे जरूर पूछेंगे. So make sure that you are well versed with your project. Then you must know about your project in detail, right from how many patients are suffering, why did you select the project, how can your approach be a asset in the pharmaceutical industrial research. So these all things is what they look out for. And in concluding questions, what respect do our position and your needs appear to be a good match. So आपकी और उनकी align कैसे करती है? How does it streamline your profile with the job profile that the company offers? Then you can ask about long-term goals of the company. You can ask whether they are planning to expand in some therapeutic areas or portfolios, and they can, it's just upon your confidence. आप कितने strongly, ये common interview questions है. Most of the people fail क्यों होते हैं interview में? Because they get panic. वो घबरा जाते हैं. Interview is a place where you have to show patience under pressure. PUP, patience under pressure. You must be patient. You should be thinking calm, because it's like an extempore. आपको तुरंत impromptu जवाब देना है, spontaneous. So everything you speak is very important. And these are certain sites for interview questions that you can go through. These are different links, top 14, top 16, from which I have also collected some of the data. These are the references that I've adopted for making this video. And that's it for today's video. I hope ये वीडियो काफी insightful थी and आप सबके placements बहुत अच्छी जगह पे लगे, and definitely you get good packages, you learn more. Just everything you do, be the best, show the best perseverance and zeal. दिखाओ उनको कि how badly you need that job, how efficient and proficiency आपकी उस job के लिए, and things will be fine. So thank you so much. ऐसे ही प्यार करते रहिएगा. Like, share, subscribe my channel for more such upcoming videos.